Okay, welcome to the first video, the first homework video. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through the first three homework problems that were assigned from chapter 12, and then I'll have another video where I'll go through the last four, right? So I'm going to hope to break this up a little bit for you. Okay, so anyway, we're going to do, the first one is problem 28, and I'm assuming you've read the problem, and I hope that this makes sense. It seems to me that to solve this, the easiest thing to do is to convert everything, to ounces. Okay, so we have our tomatoes. We have our sauce and our paste, right? And the book says we've got 280 pounds of whole tomatoes. So if I take 280 pounds and multiply that by 16 ounces per pound, I can purchase up to 4,480 ounces of tomatoes. And then with the sauce, I've got 130 pounds of sauce, right? And then for the paste, 100 pounds of paste. So, right, so here are going to be my constraints. This is the maximum amount in ounces of tomatoes, sauce, and paste that I can use. And then what I'm going to do, oh, that didn't go well. Well, okay, convert everything to ounces because I want to try to save. So just convert to ounces, sorry. All right, close enough. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Trying to save a row here. There we go. Okay, so I've converted everything to ounces, and now, I have my Western Foods brand, right? Makes two salsa products, Western Foods and Mexico City. So Western Foods, Mexico City. Okay, well, they tell you, right, that for the Western Foods salsa, it's a blend of 50% whole tomatoes, 30% tomato sauce, and 20% paste. Well, the jars are all 10 ounces, right? So what that means is that for the Western Foods, I'm going to use 5 ounces of tomatoes. 5 ounces of tomatoes, 3 ounces of sauce, and then 2 ounces of paste. And then for the Mexico City salsa, I am going to use 7 ounces of tomatoes, 1 ounce, 10% or 1 ounce of sauce, and then 2 ounces of paste. So these are going to be my constraints, right? 5 times Western Foods plus 7 times Mexico City must be less than or equal to 4,480. Now, I know I've kind of got this backwards, but here what I'm trying to get you to see is just start putting things into Excel, right? Try to get the problem organized like the way to think about it, if you will. All right? So here I've got my basic constraints, but now I need my cost. So again, Wells Fargo, or Western Foods, not Wells Fargo, and then Mexico City. Okay, so again, I've converted everything to ounces, but here it says that the price per pound for these ingredients is 96 cents for the tomatoes, 64 cents for the sauce, and then 56 cents for the paste. All right? So again, I want these in per ounces, right? So how much per ounce will the tomatoes cost the Western Foods? So all I'm going to do is take this and divide by 16. Right now, bear with me, that's the per ounce. And then I'm going to do the same thing, or actually what I should do this over here, my apologies. So the per ounce cost is 0.96 divided by 16, and copy that down, right? So then what is going to be the total cost for these various, let me do this. There we go, get everything on one page. Okay, so this was wrong. So the per ounce cost is 6 cents, but I've got 5 ounces for Western Foods. So all you need to do is take this and multiply it by that. And then for the Mexico City, I take my 7 ounces, multiply that by my per ounce cost. That would be that. So here, I'm sorry, here what I'm trying to do is figure out my profit, right? They give me the price that I can sell, and then the way they gave me the cost, I have to kind of go through this little rigmarole to figure out the cost per jar. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So copy these down, right? So for each 10-ounce jar, the Western Food salsa is going to cost me 30 cents for the tomatoes, 12 cents for the sauce, 7 cents for the paste, and then, the same thing here for the Mexico City. But they gave me some other costs. The cost of spices and other ingredients is approximately 10 cents per jar. So here's 10 and 10. The cost per jar is 2 and 2. Come on. 2 and 2. And then labeling and filling costs are estimated to be 3 cents for each jar of salsa. All right, so 0.03, 0.03. Okay. Now that also tells me Western Foods results in sales revenue of $1.60 for each jar. Okay. I'm sorry, $1.64. So I can take $1.64 and then subtract all these costs for Western Foods, and voila. So this is my profit per unit of 10-ounce jar for Western Foods. And then the Mexico City, that sells for $1.93. So $1.93 minus the sum of all these costs per jar, and voila, I get $1.25. Okay? So now I'm ready to set up my problem. So here what I'm going to do is I'll write this out first, right? I'm going to maximize $1 times Western Foods plus $1.25 times Mexico City, right? Subject to, and I don't want to go too far down. I think I'm already... I'm going to lose that. So here's the first constraint, right? So 5, how can I do this? How can Kurt do this? I just have to use my memory, which that's a bad idea. So 5, 7. Okay, so 5 Western Foods plus 7 Mexico City must be less than or equal to 4,800. Right? And the 44,800. See, bad idea to use the memory. 44,80. Right? And then 3,1. So 3 Western Foods plus Mexico City, that has to be less than or equal to 2,880. And then lastly, 2,1,600. So 2 WF plus 2 MC less than or equal to 1,600. All right. Well, there you go. There is your. Well, I'm sorry. Western Foods, comma Mexico City, right? Greater than or equal to 0. Here are my non-negativity constraints. So there you go. There is our problem. So I'll try to set that up here. So I've got, WF, MC, right? Here are my parameters. And now I'll make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So here I just have 1 and 1.25, right? And then I got my choice variables. So I'll put these placeholders in, just 1 and 1. And then I have my objective function. And that's going to be the sum product. So let's get that. Okay, sum product of the parameters, choice variables. Voila, right? And now I have my constraints. And here, I'll actually use these. I don't have to type anything more. There we go. Okay, so for tomatoes, I have 5, 7, sauce, 3, 1, paste, 2, 2. These all have to be less than or equal to 4480, 2080. Ah, come on, Kirk. 2080, 1600. And then, of course, here, right, based on my choice variables, how many ounces of tomatoes have I used? Well, again, I got to use that sum product function. So sum product of the choice variables, sum product of the tomatoes, right? And then again, anchor. So I just like to put the dollar sign in, but you can use the F4. I just like to do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, and then copy that down, and voila. So here we're done basically, right? Because now we just have to solve. So data, solver, and what am I going to do here? I'm going to maximize my objective function. Set the objective, going to maximize it by changing these two cells. And then I'm going to add my constraints. I can add them all at once because these are all less than or equal to. Highlight that. Hit OK. Check the unconstrained variables non-negative. Change this to simplex LP and hit solve. And there you are. So I am going to produce 560 10-ounce jars of the Western Food salsa, 240 10-ounce jars of the Mexico City salsa for a profit of 800, I don't know why, oh, sorry. There it is. For a profit of $860. Okay, so there you go. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to change things up a little bit. This video, it's taking me like 12 and a half minutes to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a video for each homework problem. All right? That way, hopefully, because I don't want you just sitting there for like an hour watching this stuff. So call it a day here. I'll create, what do I got? 6 more videos for these problems, and you can watch them at your leisure. So here is the solution to problem 28.